a speech she wrote about her life and how she overcame her obstacles. My name is Tasia Rodriguez and I am 17 years old. I was born with cerebral palsy and this is my life story. Life hasn't always been easy for my family. My parents got together on June 6, 1996 as teenagers. They were not living together and were struggling. Then 3 years later, life hit my parents hard. When I was born, I almost lost my life and doctors didn't think I would make it. They told my parents that if I survived, I wasn't going to be normal. My parents didn't care. They loved me the way I was, and to them, I was perfect. While I was fighting to survive, my family were all watching me from a window with wires all over me. It was hard for my parents not being able to hold me for the first few weeks of life. While watching me, my parents cried, would she survive? Would she understand life? Would she even be able to call us mommy and daddy? After almost a month in the hospital, I was finally able to go home. I survived. I had cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is an umbrella term that affects a person's physical ability. People who have cerebral palsy may also have visual, learning, hearing, speech, epilepsy, and intellectual impairments. My parents were still living separately and didn't even have enough money to buy me diapers or milk. Not only were my parents struggling with everyday life, but they also had a child with disabilities who required extra care and attention. It was getting way too rough, and my parents said that they wanted to give me the life that I deserved. So my dad found a job in a jewelry shop as part-time, but months after, the owner gave the shop to my dad. While my dad was working, my mom was home taking care of me. My dad started making a couple of dollars, so we were able to move into a small apartment as a family. At the age of 2, I was able to say little words that only my parents understood. My speech wasn't clear at all, and I couldn't walk. I was still too young for them to know if I had learning disabilities. My dad later opened up more jewelry shops. At the age of 4, I started school, but was placed in special education. A year later, my parents had a baby boy. As months passed, I was learning and talking more. I started to feel like I didn't belong in special education anymore. Then at the age of 7, my special education teacher said that I was too smart to be in her class and I should be in regular classes. I was a little afraid of this big change in my life. My family believed in me and told me to always chase my dreams. My main worry were the kids. I thought, what if they laugh at me and don't want me to be their friend? I finally decided to give it a try. It was the best decision I've made in my life. All the kids were helpful, I made lots of friends, and became an honor roll student ever since. I was finally where I belong. At age 10, I became another big sister to another baby boy who completed our family. On September 5th, 2009, my dad married the teenage girl he fell in love with. Although my parents had a rough relationship, they were meant to be together. Through all the struggles they have been through, they managed to stay together and made it this far by picking each other up. My dad is now CEO of his very own company and has an office in New York. He came up with his own jewelry line that is now called Tasia Diamond & Co. Our life has been a 360 change. Today, my family inspires so many people. We have had a very bumpy road, but it has all been worth it. From having no idea of what it is like to have a child with disabilities to becoming the best parents in the world. My parents are the best, and they have given me such an amazing life. I am who I am today because of my parents. They fight cerebral palsy with me. They taught me to never give up. When I fall, I always get back up and keep going. To me, having cerebral palsy doesn't mean that I can't do things. It just means that I have to work way harder for what I want in life. I know I could do whatever I put my mind to. Although I'm in a wheelchair, I always find a way to do everything I want. I see the world with no physical limitations. I don't want to be known as the kid with cerebral palsy. I want people to see me for who I am in the inside. When people really get to know me, they see the amazing kid I am. I thank God for blessing me with such a wonderful family and friends. They don't look at me like I'm different and never make me feel left out. I really appreciate everyone's help towards me. My little brothers are the best. They're not ashamed of having a sister that can't walk, and they're always there for me. God has brought very special people into my life. Now, Tasia has a surprise, which was spoiled by Chris, but she would like to read a part of her speech. So, Tasia?
Oh, dear, Chris.
I know, so many person. Yeah, you
Some days I do find myself crying. I think why couldn't I just come out normal and just work? Why me lost? But then I realized I was born in this, and I can't change it. I'm actually blessed. I had a great life, great family. They are all here. Best friend, there's so much more to be grateful for. My family says I'm damn blessed. I'm so proud of the way Jesus made me. If I had a chance to take myself before they're away, I wouldn't do it because I'm perfect the way I am. I thank God for saving my life and for letting me be a living miracle. Challenges are going to come up throughout my whole life, but I'm a fighter.
Yes, you
Till
are.
the day I die.
Yes, you are.
Cerebral palsy can never stop me. My faith grows bigger every day. My dream is to be able to walk one day and to become something big in life. You into this world for a reason. No matter what people say about you, no matter how long God didn't give me to live, no matter the breathing, no matter what you're going through right now, just keep going and never give up. Nothing is impossible when you try to back and have a positive attitude. I hope my story inspires everybody, and I would like to thank my family for
It's okay, Mommy, for being here.
It's okay, you got it.
You got it, Mommy.